Welcome to today's episode of Critical Mass Radio Show. I am your host, Rick Franzi. Today's first guest is Troyce Thome. She is the owner of Tai Chi for Health. Being truly healthy includes both physical and mental health. And with the help of a little practice of Tai Chi, the health and well-being benefits are endless and can even help in ways you may not have thought of. And I've asked Troyce to come today to share some of those benefits with you. And we're going to do that in just 1 minute. But first, I'd like to let you know that this show is brought to you by our advertisers, Center Club, Community Bank, Decision Toolbox, Executives Unlimited, MBN Design, SNH Rubber, Strategic Market Intelligence, Sunup Group, T & Company, Tone Software, Turn Up the Volume, and last but not least, UPS Protection. The goal for this show is to help you, our listening audience of CEOs who are running middle market firms, to improve your decision-making skills. If you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm Richard Rick Franzi. CEO Peer Groups is our Twitter handle. And if your favorite podcasting software doesn't already have a subscription to Critical Mass Radio Show, type in those four words, Critical Mass Radio Show, and you will get our show every week. And don't miss our YouTube channel, which is Richard Franzi. Troyce, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor and a pleasure to be part of your program.
You're too kind. It's great to have you here. We've been excited to talk to you for some time now. Let's start by following up on what I said in the open. The health benefits, the benefits to the individual for Tai Chi. Let's start by discussing what Tai Chi is and what you've observed being in this industry as far as some of the benefits of practicing Tai Chi.
The benefits are massive. They're endless. And Western science is just beginning to uncover, through research-based methods, tangible ways of looking at this. But those of us who've practiced Tai Chi for years intuitively know it and have experienced it. One example I have of teaching Tai Chi for emeritus through Saddleback College, I had an older woman who was coming to class religiously. Now, she didn't tell me this personally, but I overheard a conversation she was telling her friend. When I first used to come to class, I couldn't drive myself because my arthritis in my hands was so bad, I couldn't hold on to the steering wheel. And now, look at me, I can drive myself.
So you're teaching courses, you were teaching at the time courses at Saddleback?
At Saddleback College through the emeritus program and through the regular campus as well.
Big fan of Saddleback. My wife went there for her AA. My daughter went there for the first 2 years. My wife says it's the best education she got was the 2 years she was at Saddleback. And
I'd have to agree with you. I think it's great.
Yeah, it is a wonderful institution.
It's a nice place to be.
So, for those that are listening that say, well, I know the phrase Tai Chi, and maybe even I've observed people doing what I think is Tai Chi, what is the practice of Tai Chi?
Tai Chi began as a martial art several hundred years ago, but today it's more commonly practiced throughout this country for health purposes. But when you stop to think about it, practicing Tai Chi as a martial art, if you think about martial artists, they have to be really strong and learn how to leverage their bodies and be really swift and accurate. Mm-hmm. So actually, if you look at a fighter, they have to be in top physical health. They have to have agility and quickness and understand movement. So it's a great way to learn how to become stronger.
Does Tai Chi have to be strenuous for you to get some of the health benefits of practicing Tai Chi?
Tai Chi has all kinds of levels. There's several styles of Tai Chi to begin with. There's 5 major categories.
Okay.
There's Chen style, Yang style, Wu style, Hao style, and Sun style. So within those styles, the Chen style, being the oldest, is probably the most martial, so it would be the most vigorous, the lower stances, the explosive movements.
Okay.
And then the Sun style, which is the youngest, has more upright posture, and so it'd be easier for older people who might have sensitive knees or weak hips to do a Sun style. They would not do well doing like the Chen style.
Okay. And what is the foundation of the health benefit? Is it the movements? Is it the fact that you're why was this woman able to overcome painful arthritis in her hands by doing Tai Chi? What is the, help me understand the connection there.
Well, I think if you look at it from traditional Chinese medicine point of view, we all have this energy called Qi flowing through our bodies, and we have something known as meridians. And if the Qi is flowing evenly through the meridians, then there's harmony. But if the chi's stuck in one place, it's stagnant, it's not moving, or if there's too much of it, you get too hot, it's heated up. You want the chi to flow smoothly and evenly through the meridians, and so it would get down into the joints that maybe weren't getting the circulation that they were getting before. It helps lubricate the joints.
And so, is the practice of Tai Chi one of the different derivatives? Is it through movement you're finding ways to release this energy or to move this energy through your body? Is that what I'm hearing?
I would say that would be accurate. I would say that, yes, we have this, in Western terminology, we have synovial fluid. And the only way to get synovial fluid to lubricate the joint is through movement. If you're not moving, synovial fluid can't lubricate.
It can't pump itself then, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't have a pump. Like the lungs or like the heart, it doesn't.
Or blood.
Right.
Okay.
So the heart pumps the blood.
Got it.
So synovial fluid, the only way to get it lubricating the joint is through movement.
And that's what's happening in Tai Chi.
That's what's happening in Tai Chi.
And we have about 3 minutes left in this segment, but I wanted to talk about your business because you're an entrepreneur as well. So tell me a little bit about your business.
I began Tai Chi for Health several years ago after working with the Arthritis Foundation, teaching Tai Chi for the Arthritis Foundation around the country, going to different chapters all over the country and working with different instructors. And they began to tell me what we're really looking for our students is a Tai Chi program that can really help improve balance. So getting feedback from different people throughout the country saying this is what my students need, I began working with professionals in the physical therapy world to develop a program that can actually help people stay stronger and moving independently longer.
Wow.
So that was the genesis for forming the Tai Chi for Strength and Balance program, which is the largest program we have with Tai Chi for Health.
Well, I'm talking with Troyce Thome. She is owner of Tai Chi for Health. That's really interesting because it takes me back to something that my general practitioner said, because, as I was getting older and as I'm getting older, I asked him, I said, what should I be most concerned about? And he said, loss of mobility. He
Exactly.
said, that is the number one thing that changes the quality of your life. So keep your legs under you, is what he said to me. Is stay strong, and I think a lot of that is balance. Because if your balance isn't what it used to be, you could have an unintended injury that then affects your mobility. Right?
You want to hear something shocking?
Yes. Always.
Yes. I find this shocking. The number one reason people are admitted to assisted living facilities is the fear of falling.
Oh my gosh.
They maybe have never fallen before,
right,
but they're afraid they might. So what do? They start limiting their movements, limiting what they do because they're afraid they might fall. And as you keep limiting it, you keep getting smaller and smaller box, and then pretty soon you need others to help you get around. So it's the fear of falling.
Wow. Well, thank you for that, Troyce. All right, we're going to take our first commercial break here on Critical Mass Radio Show. When we come back, we've got a lot more to talk about, educational programs, etc. Tai Chi for Health is the name of the firm. Troyce Thome is our guest, and we'll be right back after these words from our commercial sponsors.
Richard Franzi is the author of 2 popular business books for CEOs. His first book, Critical Mass, The 10 Explosive Powers of CEO Peer Groups, was the first book ever written on the secret value of CEO peer groups. His second book, now with newly updated information, is Critical Mass, The Power of CEO Guiding Principles. Richard's books contain powerful information to help CEOs running middle-market companies gain valuable insight to improve their decision-making skills. Richard's books are available as paperbacks or Kindle versions from Amazon.com. To find them, type Richard Franzi in the search box.
Are you looking for your successor? Someone as dedicated and experienced in their field as you? Executives Unlimited delivers the top executive talent you need for your company's long-term success. 98% of our clients re-engage us for additional hires, and over 90% of the executives placed by us since 2007 are still in their positions or have been promoted. That's twice the industry's average retention rate. How do we do this? Dedication. Executives Unlimited believe success isn't success until it's long-term. Call us to invest in your long-term success. 562-627-3800 or visit us at executivesunlimited.com. Let our long-term success leverage yours.
Award-winning photographer David Moyle has more than 16 years of experience creating unique and riveting photography for his clients. Whether your business is an international corporation or a small business, David Moyle's photography can make you stand out. Visit www.davidmoyle.com or call 714-272-2284.
Welcome back to this edition of Critical Mass Radio Show. I am your host, Rick Franzi, and Troyce Thome is our guest. She's the owner of Tai Chi for Health, and I've got a lot of questions, and we're going to get them in the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, because you've opened up a number of interesting things, and I'd like to kind of go back to something you said in the first segment, Troyce, which was that this is an ancient art, started as a martial art, but it believed that there's an energy that flows through you, and we have lost the ability or the understanding in Western civilization to even admit that there is this energy, let alone understand how to positively have it benefit us, right?
Right, how to tune into it, how to get in touch with your own inner space. So there's a saying I heard a long time ago, way back when I first began this, and it just really resonated with me, so I'd like to share that with you.
Please, yes.
And it's by someone named Sophia Delza, who is a dancer, but she brought Tai Chi to this country a long time ago. And the phrase goes something like this: is there anyone in the whole world who would not think of good health as a strong physical body, a fine mind, and an ease of disposition?
Wow.
And I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
those are
because
the big three.
we can have a strong body, and we can even have a sharp mind, but if we're like anxious and always uptight,
nervous,
yeah, what good
scared,
what good is that journey?
Right.
Or if we're like really depressed or too heavy or always worried, that's no good either. So I think the practice of Tai Chi not only gives us a strong body, keeps the mind sharp because we have to be mindful of our movements, but there's something in the movement of Tai Chi, Rick, that puts us at ease. Now, I think it's because Tai Chi is always moving back and forth.
Okay.
The Chinese call it through yin and yang.
Right.
Full
right.
and empty.
Okay.
Yeah, the polar opposites.
All right.
And when you think about it, the whole universe operates on this principle. I used to doubt it, but I've been thinking about this for like 100 years already, and there's no place it doesn't exist, from the smallest molecular level to the quasars, even computer programs. I mean, electrical impulses.
Yes, on or off.
On or off.
Right.
So everywhere it is. And so our life as we know it depends on these polar opposites. And when we do Tai Chi, we bring ourselves into harmony with the rhythm of the universe.
Okay.
And that's why it gives us this quietude or this peacefulness that's kind of inexplicable, but yet it's very there.
So it sounds like, and tell me if this is accurate, that through the control of your body, you're also learning to control your mind.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And
the discipline of the moves and the being in the moment, being present.
That's true, and also the mind controls the body.
Okay.
So when you're doing Tai Chi, it's very exacting movements. I mean, exactly where you put your foot, how you put your foot, what the angle you put your foot, when you transfer the weight. So it's very mindful movement.
Right.
So really the mind is controlling the body, which is a good thing.
Right.
Because if you let the body take the lead, it can go anywhere. But when you have mindful movement, you know exactly how you're putting your foot down. So this is where it really helps with balance. It helps people gain greater security when they're moving, especially as
Does it help with their posture? Does it help you with your posture?
You know, that's a really good question. Some Tai Chi forms want you to hollow the chest and kind of curl under, make more of a U shape.
Okay.
So those Tai Chi forms might not really be good for posture, but the Sun style has an upright posture, so it's really clear on having really bringing yourself into alignment with gravity, which means a good posture. So it depends on the type of Tai Chi form that you're choosing to study.
We're talking with Troyce Thome. She is the owner of Tai Chi for Health. I want to come back to the mind-body movement, because it sounds like when you're in the movement sequence, you're totally focused on that. The problem with the mind sometimes is it wanders on you, right?
It does.
And I think in Western civilization, we haven't been trained how to control our thoughts. Not that we want mind control, but we need to be the master of our own thoughts. And many times we don't have a disciplined way of controlling our thoughts. And I believe meditation, yoga, sounds like Tai Chi, there are tools that we can learn from other cultures on how to bring that mind-body connection to be a little bit where we're more holistic with it. Where the mind isn't always the dominant thing, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Like the monkey mind, always running here and
Exactly.
there, everywhere but in the present moment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, in the future, in the past. Lots of people refer to Tai Chi as the moving meditation.
Oh, okay.
And I find that a very accurate description because there's a lot of exact requirements for exactly how you move. And the more comfortable you get with it, the more... It's like focusing. Like in yoga, you focus on the breath. Watching
Yes.
the breath come in
Right.
and watching the breath go out. So in Tai Chi, you focus on the weight shift, between full and empty. So if all the weight's in the left foot and then you gradually move it to the right foot, you bring awareness to that movement.
Yeah, because we're talking with Troyce Thome, and you got me off a little bit. We're a little bit away from owner of Tai Chi for Health, but I'm glad we're in a holistic conversation. Hope you don't mind about it. I kind of think you talked about meditation and the breath. So much a busy CEO, business owner, isn't in the moment. They're in the future or they're in the past, and they're missing the moment, which is really, when you think about it, it's all we actually have.
That's true, and I understand. I mean, if you're a busy CEO or entrepreneur, you're thinking about the future. Oh, how am I going to make that happen? Or thinking about the past. Oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And I think Tai Chi, because of its rocking motion back and forth, forward and back, it's okay to be, you have to sometimes plan the future. You have to reflect.
Right.
But you have to be able to stay balanced between that. So Tai Chi gives you permission to go ahead and kind of be, okay, I'm forward thinking, okay, I'm reflective thinking, but that's okay. I have my equilibrium between the two, and it's okay.
Troyce, how long does it take for a new student to start to see the benefits of Tai Chi? What's your experience?
My experience is there's all kinds of forms of Tai Chi, and if someone really wanted to feel the benefit, it wouldn't take them long at all. So
Okay.
let's say a busy CEO, and he wants to feel the benefit, but he doesn't have time to go to class to learn a form, but he wants just to get this gestalt of it.
Okay.
And I could teach him that in probably 4 or 5 minutes,
Really?
honestly.
So you're teaching them a coping technique of some sort, or
A simple movement.
simple movement
Simple movement.
that they can draw upon that centers them then, or what does the benefit for them of this simple movement
I think
become?
it centers. It's very instinctive. It's primordial.
Okay.
I mean, if you think of a baby, a crying baby, you pick up the baby. What's the first thing you do with that baby? You rock it
Oh,
back and forth, right?
You're right.
We have cradles,
yes.
or we have rocking chairs. We like to rock. There's something instinctive. It's taking us between the polar opposites. So if I could take you and show you some simple movements without moving your feet and get you into that rocking motion, it's very comforting, and you immediately you like it.
Right. I can see how that would help. You're nervous. You're going into a big meeting. You need to kind of center yourself before your presentation. Whatever might be externally worrying you, you might find a way to sort of feel more in control, right?
Precisely.
And more confident.
Yeah,
And
and more comfortable. I think just more comfortable in your own skin. You go, okay, I feel comfortable now.
it's interesting because a couple weeks ago we had Dr. Jack Singer back on the show, and he's a noted psychologist, a psychiatrist that works with high-performing sports athletes and business people. And a lot of what we were talking about with him is I think I'm seeing in Western psychology a movement towards being more aware of some of the influences of Eastern and other cultures, because what we were talking about very much with him is his work with high-performing athletes is to teach them to be in the moment and to shut out the distractions that can take your focus away from performance. And these, and I think it sounds like yoga and Tai Chi could actually enable a CEO of a business to actually develop those skills.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
In fact, my first Tai Chi teacher was Vince McCullough, Coach Vince McCullough from Saddleback College, and he won several football championships, and he taught all of his football players yoga.
Wow.
To help them focus and stay in the moment.
So if someone wants to learn about Tai Chi for health, what type of what would they expect to find from you as an entrepreneur and an instructor?
Right now, our Tai Chi for Health programs really are focusing on balance, mental, physical, and otherwise.
Okay.
So, to our website, www.taichiforhealth.net is the main way to connect with us.
How do you spell Tai Chi for Health?
It's TAICHIFOR Health,
Okay.
HEALTH.
Okay, so that's great. So, is your delivery model through the internet then, as your business?
We teach classes throughout the community.
Okay.
I'm teaching an instructor's certification workshop this June 27th and 28th in Dana Point.
So you're teaching teachers.
I like to teach teachers, I like to teach students, but I really like to teach teachers how to teach because they can go out in the community and reach others. You know, I can't be everywhere all
Are
the
there
time.
Tai Chi groups or can someone find a Tai Chi, a group of people who are practicing Tai Chi in Irvine or,
Yeah, Tai Chi is pretty much everywhere. If
Okay.
you go to a lot of the parks, you'll find that Chinese people or other people are practicing Tai Chi in the parks. I forgot to mention one thing as well. I'm so sorry.
That's
that
okay.
the Tai Chi for Strength and Balance DVD, which really focuses on keeping people stronger longer, is also available on Amazon.
So you have a DVD?
We have a DVD out.
Okay.
Tai Chi for Strength and Balance.
And who's it intended for? Is it for a beginner? Is it for someone who's interested in learning more? I mean, can they progress through the different movements with the DVD?
It's definitely for the beginner.
Okay.
It's very, very simple, and it's ideally suited for people who want to maintain their mobility, to move independently, especially as we get older.
Right.
If we've maybe had a knee injury or a hip injury, or we're worried about our balance, we're starting to, feel maybe it's not as good as it should be. This is exactly what the DVD was designed to introduce. So it focuses very much on how to improve the gait cycle. Are you familiar with the term gait cycle?
You read my facial expression. Would you share for our audience?
G-A-I-T, gait. It means the way we walk.
Okay.
So there's a cycle to the way we walk. I never realized this until I started working with physical therapists who took what I was doing and said, this is exactly what we need in our clinics.
Wow.
This is how we can teach people to maintain mobility. When I talk about mobility, I'm mainly talking about how to walk from point A to point B. I think yoga is really good for balance, but it's pretty static. We don't live life on a yoga mat.
Right.
We have to get from the car through the parking lot into the market.
Right.
So how can we do that effectively and efficiently and feel strong and confident that we're not going to fall down when we do that?
And so if I went on to Amazon and I was interested in the DVD, tell me again what I would type into Amazon to be able to find it?
Tai Chi for Strength and Balance.
Okay. And so you recommend that for people in the audience who are interested in strength and balance. And they can do this at home?
They can do it at home. It's a complete step-by-step instructional DVD.
And how long have you had it out? How long has it been out?
It's been out about 2 years.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations on that. I'm sure that was a project to get it to final completion, right?
You have no idea.
I have no idea. All right. So, Troyce, tell us one more time how they find you online. Tell us your website.
www.taichiforhealth.net. We have a lot of interesting blogs there on health, and also on Facebook. We post a lot of things on Facebook. So
Okay.
if they go to our website, they can click the Facebook link and take us right to Facebook. We have also little vignettes on YouTube. So on the website, there's a YouTube link that will show you little samples of the Tai Chi for Strength and Balance movements.
Okay. Well, that's it. I tell you, I want to thank you, Miko Whitaker, for bringing you to my attention. You've been a thoroughly enjoyable guest, and you've opened my eyes to yet another area of potential interest for me. Thank you very much for being a guest on the show, being a friend of the program, and welcome to the Critical Mass community.
Oh, thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our second commercial break here on Critical Mass Radio Show. Chris Chalmers, who's a certified representative for Affinity 24, will be on the show when we come back after these words from our commercial sponsors. And welcome back to the second segment of Critical Mass Radio Show. As promised, Chris Chalmers, who is a certified agent of Affinity 24, is here in the studio. You know, as a business or a nonprofit organization grows, so too is the need to maintain compliance. Affinity 24 offers multiple solutions for businesses when it comes down to getting what they need and saving what they can. If you'd like to follow me on LinkedIn, I'm Richard Rick Franzi. CEO Peer Groups is my Twitter handle. On your favorite podcasting software, type in these 4 words, please. Critical Mass Radio Show. You'll get our weekly updates of the different shows that we do. And don't miss our YouTube channel. It's my name, Richard Franzi. You know, each month we get several thousand downloads of the radio show through iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, various podcasting services. We do appreciate our continued and growing support from our loyal listening audience. So, Chris, let's talk a little bit about Affinity 24. Let's start there. Tell me, can you discuss the business and why clients, what do you do and why do people do business with your firm?
Yeah, we are a sales and marketing firm for Cornerstone Payment Systems.
Okay.
And Cornerstone's been around since 2001. But really, why people or businesses should really pick us is we differentiate ourselves because of our focus. It's not so much that commodity-based pricing that most merchant processing companies usually go for. Our business and our focus is always really on serving the businesses and nonprofits with solutions. We know that if we can go in with a solution, provide more security and an increased value, then look at, let's save you some money.
Okay.
We'll help them grow their business rather than just saving money.
Okay.
And I think that's what differentiates us.
So are you saying that a lot of your industry competes on price?
Oh, yeah. 99% of it.
Really?
Does, yeah.
And is
Absolutely.
that doing a disservice to the merchants then, to some degree, if they're not looking at a bigger solution or a partnering relationship? Because at some point, you can't afford to do very much for your clients because you're not making very much profit off the sale.
Right. If every agent that went in says, well, I'm going to beat the price, I'm going to beat the price, I'm going to beat the price, eventually you get down to cost.
Yeah.
And
right.
there's no reason for that company to be there.
Right.
So when we go in and we can say, look, there's changes in the industry, we want to get you up to date. We want to make sure that what you have is tailored to your specific business. And then let's talk about trying to, keep those costs down.
And how long have you been with Affinity 24?
6 months.
6 months.
I've been with them 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
Just thumbnail. What was your background before that?
I was Air Force, actually. I was Air Force before that. So,
okay.
I graduated high school in 2005 and then went to college, played some football, got out 2009, and we all know there was so much opportunity then after.
Right. Yeah.
So, I'd always wanted to join the military, and it was the perfect timing, so that's what I did, and just got out a year ago.
Well, thank you for your service.
I appreciate that.
Did you get a chance to see the world at all?
I say unfortunately no.
Okay.
I didn't leave the States. I know my family and my wife are okay with it.
As a parent of a man who's 20-some years old, I wouldn't mind him if he stayed in the U.S. either, given what's going on.
Right, and I had a lot of friends that did, and I got to give a shout-out to all those guys that do,
Sure.
and especially with, the 71st anniversary of D-Day last weekend.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that deserve a lot more praise. I would say that, and to all the people that are in right now, I say thank you for your service, and we appreciate you guys. That's huge.
Okay, so thank you for serving your country. Now you're with Affinity 24. So, what type of package services do you guys look to offer that is not cost-based then? Educate me.
Right. So right now, really our main focus is maintaining compliance and making sure these businesses are up to date with all the fraud that happened last year. Target, Home Depot, all that. There are industry changes that are coming by October 1st of this year, actually, and it involves credit cards with new smart chip technology called EMV, Europay, MasterCard, and Visa.
Okay.
And basically, that's a more secure way of keeping the information rather than that magnetic strip on the back. All the information is now stored in the chip. By October 1st...
But the card still has the magnetic strip.
It does.
Okay.
It does. Eventually, that won't be used.
Okay.
And if it is used, instead of this chip, the technology, it puts the liability from the banks and the credit card companies onto the business owner for any fraud that happens. And so the focus now is making sure that these businesses are compliant, first and foremost. Because, like I said, if they don't get compliant, it's up to them. It's a dictated change. But if they don't do it, they're now liable for 100% of the fraud and up to a $50,000 fine per occurrence.
Okay, so when you and I were talking as we were doing our background to get ready for your interview, you mentioned that the new machines you don't swipe, you stick it in, and I'm starting to notice some merchants who take, because I do have that new card with the chip in it,
right.
They take it and they just stick it in the in the reader.
Right. So I like to call it from swipe to insert to pass.
Okay.
Is really kind of my thoughts on where the industry is going. With Apple Pay, Google Wallet, now there's Android Pay. You're going to see the industry going from the swipe to the chip, which is where it's going to be inserted in the front of the device now.
Okay.
And it'll have, chip and sign and then chip and pin as well. So just like a debit card, credit cards will have a pin. But eventually, all the credit card information, you'll upload it onto your smartphone. And then there's what's called near-field communication.
Sure. And
basically, you just tap your phone to the device. Transactions done more securely than with a credit card.
And the challenge for retailers and for merchants is the clients are sort of expecting. It's so weird because you're on today, because yesterday I had a meeting with a gentleman at a Starbucks, and I was waiting for him, and I overheard him talking with the cashier about, well, wait a minute, Starbucks is advertising that you guys can handle Apple Pay, but your terminal can't. Right? And she's like, well, I don't know why, sir, but I mean, so the people at the front lines are sort of getting hit with, well, aren't you capable of handling this technology?
Right. It is really big right now. You see these changes in technology, but the problem is there's confusion.
Right.
Because the business owners don't have time to stay up to date on all this. And that's really one of those values that I think our company brings, is not just price, but let's get you up to date. I think within the first 72 hours, millions of users signed up on Apple Pay, and thousands more sign up every day. Google Wallet is huge. Android Pay is going to be massive. But these businesses don't have the technology to accept it.
Right.
And that, proud to say that our terminals do. We are offering that ability right now.
Okay, so if I'm a restaurateur and I have, multiple locations, and I have the old card swipe type of system, you're telling me if by October I'm not modernized, I'm at risk for the liability of any fraud.
Absolutely.
What's involved in me getting the latest technology then?
Well, really, you can get in touch with either your current processor. Of course, we would say call us.
Okay.
Because that is our main focus right now. Like I said, we're not going in saying, hey, I want to give you the best price. I'm going in saying, what are you doing to become compliant? Let me take a look at your business. And we have a very simple checklist of just a couple questions that we go in, ask these questions so we can get a knowledge about your business, how you process. Once I do that, I can look at your previous processing and now tailor your best pricing and tailor your best solution. It could be online, it could be a terminal, it could be a mobile solution, or it could be a combination of all three.
Aren't these costs? Sorry, Chris, but I'm talking with Chris Chalmers. He's a certified agent of Affinity 24. Aren't those fees set by the credit card companies, though? I guess I'm learning about your industry.
Right. The cost is. There's always a cost, kind of like a wholesaler.
Right.
So there's always a cost. Anything above the cost is what the processor makes. But really, there's three parts to a fee. Most of that fee, about 78%, goes to the issuing bank. So if your credit card, if you got it from Wells Fargo, they're getting most of that fee.
Really?
Yes.
It's not Visa?
No. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they'll get somewhere about 5 to 7%. And the rest of it is the processing company that allows that merchant to connect to Visa, MasterCard. So
there's three people in that trough then?
In those fees, right. And it's a huge pool. I mean, around the world, I believe yearly it's $4 trillion in fees.
Yeah.
Is what